and the system. The program, the program, the program. The intention, the intention, the intention of those that are in power, that have been in power long before you came to this realm, have always had an agenda to keep you stuck and to keep you stagnant. And of course, depending on where you are in the world, you may have a different reality. But the reality that I have in this Western world is that we put all of our trust and our faith in a system that is working so hard to keep you stuck and keep you stagnant and keep you reliant on a system that does not work. And for me and my journey, it's all about the liberation of people, of all people and all beings. And the deeper I dive within self, the higher I climb outside of myself. And I am fully supported by the universal powers that be to deliver the message of awakening, to bring forth the higher self of the minds, of the souls that are not operating completely from their higher self. And just by being an example of just living my life, living in the same environment as many people, I'm showing you that this is possible to become free, and that it is closer than you can possibly imagine. Now, I do intend that my videos will continue to be broadcasted for much longer than I am here. And I hope, well, I don't hope, I know that the message will continue to be spread to those that hear the call, feel the call, they're open to receiving the offerings. But I also do believe, and I do know, that many people operate solely from their pride and their ego, and it's those two components that will stop you from growing and will keep you stagnated in the reality that you're currently living. Now, you may think and believe that your life is absolutely amazing and great, but I can assure you that life, this reality, this realm, this heaven on earth, this heaven in your reality, in your vessel, will only just get better and better. Because heaven and hell is a state of mind. Your subconscious mind is your body. And you truly have an understanding of this, you'll truly be liberated. And you'll just keep climbing. You'll just keep climbing the ladder. You'll continue to dive deep within self. And you'll really start to enjoy the journey. I can promise you that you will start to enjoy the journey. Now, at first, it may seem and appear to be very lonely, but I can assure you that it starts to become very comforting, very comfortable, and you won't really be seeking too much outside of yourself. Now, that might sound a bit far-fetched, but I can assure you, you will truly have an understanding of this, an overstanding, understanding, understanding, whatever it may be. You will truly know, and it's a feeling, it's a knowing, a true knowing, when you have this experience. I can't possibly explain with words the experience of life that I'm living, because no words can give it any justice. Now, I know there's probably some poetic people out here that could probably find a few or many words to sum up this reality, but I truly believe it's a feeling. It's a true feeling. It's a feeling. It can't be spoken. It's just a knowing. It's just this thing that you just have to experience yourself. And I truly would love everybody to share this experience, because I'll tell you something, with my reality, there's not a lot of people living my lifestyle where I am currently living. I say not many. There's none that I know personally that's living this experience and living the lifestyle that I'm living where I am currently living. And I do connect with many people around the world, and I'm so fortunate and I'm so grateful, and I give so much gratitude to be able to connect with so many people around the world that share similar experiences to myself and have far surpassed my current program of what is possible. It's all about sharing the journey, being completely transparent in all things, especially those things that I've eliminated from the body. And being completely transparent in yes, this is a lifestyle now. So although I talk a lot about dry fasting was never a topic of discussion for myself a while ago. It was all about juicing, because that was where I started, juicing. And then that kind of progressed onto other sorts of fasting, so mano fasting and water fasting and raw foods only. And obviously now I'm at a level where I've just naturally progressed. I never had the intention initially. I wasn't even going to do a juice cleanse, because I didn't want to lose any weight, or should I say waste, in the body, because I was so attached to my physical vessel. That, you know, I would work so hard for my body to get to a certain place, going to the gym, eating so many meals, had this program of eating so many calories, and, you know, and the food was just blocking and clogging me up, blocking and clogging my emotions. You know, I had my own experiences, as we all have our own experiences, and that definitely served its purpose at the time when I needed it. So it's not about kicking yourself, it's not about being so hard on yourself, but once you know better, you typically should be doing better. And for me, I wasn't led down this path from my own health problems or implications. It was definitely, I think the person that I was with previously was definitely the catalyst for me going deeper and diving deeper within myself. But I personally didn't have health problems where, it was kind of like life or death. And, so many people are battling and suffering with so much stuff. Just because you're not diagnosed with something doesn't mean there's nothing there. So, yeah. From my own personal experience, obviously living in a place where there's so much access to food, there's an abundance of food everywhere. You go to shops, I say food, but it's not even real food, but you go to shops and there's something for consumption on every turn, on every aisle, on every road, every street, every app. Like everything revolves around consumption. Birthdays, weddings, christenings, funerals, Christmas, if I'd ever mentioned that. I don't know if I mentioned that. New Year's, leaving dues, meetups with friends and families. Everything revolves around food. Put into this program of consuming 3 meals a day, snacks in between, drinks in between, everything in between. It's a distraction from self. It's a distraction from healing. It's a distraction from your higher self. I know that my words and what I say probably could hit and land so much better, but this is straight from the heart. And I see so many people suffering, not even just physically suffering, but mentally suffering. It shows up in the way that they show up for themselves. It shows up in the way they communicate. It shows up in so many places that I can see straight through. And it's sad because many people are unaware. I always say that if you're self-aware, you're halfway there. If you're accountable, you're halfway there. But when you have two of these components, both of these components being self-awareness and accountability, you're always going to grow, because you're accountable for everything you do. You're accountable for everything you see. You're accountable for every reaction, because you're not blaming somebody else. And I'm not saying you're blaming yourself, but because you don't, or you may not want these things to happen again, you're going to make the relevant changes that you need to make in order to grow and to continue your journey. So I live in a reality where there's so much suffering, struggling, and although I don't feel directly affected by these things, but because I've been in the system and I've been in a program I've been in this collective program, and I've been able to escape this program, but still living in this reality currently, I feel like I have the duty of care to share as much information as I can to liberate and to really show how far the rabbit hole goes from the matrix, because when you feel better, you do better. When you feel better, you just want to see everybody else feel better too. They say misery likes company. You are the company you keep. I don't keep much company around me, if I'm completely honest. And, you know, I can't really resonate with a lot of people either. But I do continue to share the information online, so it's accessible for anyone that hears a call. Now, the journey to sovereignty, to that freedom, to heaven, to cleanliness, to purification, to really operating from your higher self, it does lie within cleansing the vessel. Now, many people will have their interpretation of what that looks like in terms of cleansing the vessel. But the truth is, it's not a day. It's not 5 days. So best believe when you're on your journey and on your path, naturally it becomes a byproduct. Naturally it becomes a lifestyle. That is the byproduct of you just staying on your path and staying on your course. Now, I'm not saying that it's a straight upward stream of growth. Well, actually, yes, I am saying that, because even though your experience may be up and down, it's still growth, because you're still diving deeper, but you're just having a different experience. And depending on the level of toxicity in your body determines, it does determine the level of cleansing reactions you're going to receive. Now, there are ways in which you can alleviate these cleansing reactions, but ultimately what goes in must come out. So although you may have forgotten what you've put into your system, your body knows what needs to come out. And although in your mind, the pride and the ego may say, you know, juice fasting is enough, the reality of it is, it's not enough. But just know and just take it as you're on a journey. When you just take it as you're on a journey, whether you do it for 3 days and you jump off and then you're back, it's always the coming back. You must come back to the journey. You must connect with your higher self. You must sit with self, because many people are wanting to be with somebody else because they can't sit with themselves. Many people want a relationship with somebody else because they don't have a relation to themselves. So it's just about getting clear with self. It's about getting clear with your surroundings. It's about getting clear on everything, all things that you consume, not just what you consume through your mouth, but what you hear, what you're listening to, who you surround yourself with, etc., etc., etc. I don't want this video to be too long, because I'm mindful also that my battery on this microphone is very low, and also I'm hoping that you can hear me, because I've had some problems in the past where I've done an amazing, insightful, informative video, and the microphone, the sound has not been existent. So hopefully, if it's meant to be, it will be. If you can hear me, it is what it is. Hopefully you can. And I'm going to leave it on this last message, this last note. Only you can take you to where you need to get to. You can have so many people along your journey that inspire you, but if you do nothing with the inspiration, then it's not that inspiring. Parasites control your paradigm. They control everything. Those cravings, your way of thinking, everything. And again, this is the invitation. This is the last invitation to the free, FREE, free beginners dry fasting challenge. That 17th, Monday, the 17th of November. This is the last one for the year. So if you're watching this video and you've watched it to the very end, I've spoken to your higher self. I've spoken to your soul. And this is a true call. And this is the answer to your questions of how to move forward. And all you gotta do is surrender. All you gotta do is drop me a message. And then all you got to do is show up for yourself instead of showing up for everybody else, giving everybody else your time and attention, distracting yourself. It's time to sit with self, and there's no better way to sit with self than to be in a community with other people, like-minded people, whether they've had so much experience of fasting, whether they've had no experience of fasting, whether they're a beginner or they're, you know, well ahead and away on their own personal journey. This is a place, this is a space, this is safe for you to dive in deeper within self and to truly get a wealth of information and knowledge from people that are truly living this lifestyle, that truly have the experiences of diving deeper within self, not just seeking the information from those that are qualified but have no experience. Like, you're getting real life experience from real people. And isn't it funny? Only when people go is when people truly appreciate people or truly have a true understanding of, like, they're really here to help. Like, sometimes it takes you having to go for people to truly see. Sometimes the closest people to you are the furthest people to you also. If that even makes any sense. It makes so much sense in my mind. I don't know if I'm saying it right. But don't be blinded by the light. Don't be blinded by the ego. Don't be blinded by the pride. Don't put the shutters on your growth. This is your chance. This is your opportunity to truly have a deeper awakening within self. And until next time, stay well, stay blessed, stay open, and I'll catch you on the next one.